Good morning, everyone. How are you guys on this Monday morning? Okay, connection available. Oh, I hope this is going live right now. I have a lot to say to you guys these days. I'm like waking up in the middle of the night and like writing notes in my sleep. I mean, look, you can't even read any of this. It's pretty hilarious. I'm like reading and then I'm like, I have to start writing stuff down and I can't even read what I'm writing. So I just had to decipher it and I think I got it. Hi ladies. Okay. So today I wanted to talk to you about how fear shows up. Because we are all on a huge global, yay. Thanks, Ruth. Here, by the way, I put this shirt on today because this is pretty much what we're talking about. All the feels. Okay. So what is happening is that we are having this byproduct of a fear pandemic going on. And it is bringing up, if you've been following what I've been like posting and stuff, fear, whatever your biggest fear is right now, it is getting brought up to the surface in order to be healed. Okay. And so that's fucking scary. That's totally scary because whatever it is, it's coming up. And including myself. I'm still drinking my coffee too, Andrea. You're all good. And I kind of have pajama bottoms underneath here, like, full transparency. And so, but what is happening is that fear, whatever and however it shows up in your body, in your life, it presents itself in your body in one of two ways: the fight or flight response or the freeze response. The fight or flight response is your sympathetic nervous system. And they're both, it's the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. And what it is, it's when you go into your fear center, which is your amygdala, and that is your most primal part of your brain. And so when you are in your sympathetic nervous system, you're in your fight or flight response. And what is happening is that your amygdala thinks that it's getting chased by a saber-toothed tiger. And your body heats up. You start to sweat from your pits. You get stuttered or stammered speech. Your heart starts to race like out of your chest. It's a total adrenaline rush, and you're either ready to fight or you're about to flee. And so this is a survival mechanism. The key to this is that your body gets hot. And when that happens, that again, it's your body telling your brain, this isn't, we've got to get out of here. We're getting chased. And so that's the fight or flight response. So just remember that. So start to think about, how does your body respond to fear? Is it fight or flight, or is it freeze? So if it's freeze, excuse me, then your entire body shuts down. So your body temperature decreases. You are basically The Walking Dead. Like, you are a zombie. Like, you generally don't have an appetite, and it looks a lot like depression. The flip, the fight or flight, looks a lot like anxiety. And so with freeze, I always kind of describe it as, right now I've got a little fight or flight response going on, because I get all pumped when I talk about this stuff. But with the freeze response, I always liken it to, like, if you're watching a documentary of this cute little animal, and then the animal is like just hanging out by the river, and then all of a sudden, like, this predator comes, and the predator is like, I'm just gonna try to attack this little cute being, this little cute animal, and then the animal keels over and acts like it's dead. That is the parasympathetic nervous system. Have you guys ever seen those documentaries? And it literally, like, the blood pressure goes down, the breathing is super shallow. And so the predator thinks that the little animal is dead and it's not going to attack it. And then the predator takes off, and then the little cute animal shakes its body and then goes about its business. That is the parasympathetic nervous system kicking in. because we are part of human nature and the planet, have the same systems in place. And I think this is a big awakening of people who are like, what's happening right now. Like, we have gone, humans, so far from thinking that we are part of the planet and think that we fucking own it, that this whole thing is happening. And so now it's about getting back to understanding that we are part of the planet and we're part of this ecosystem. And so if you go into parasympathetic shock or fear, your whole body shuts down. That is what I do. This is what happened after 9/11. This is what happened after Jack. I shut down completely. And I just want to stay in bed, and I don't want to do anything, and I just want to crawl up in a little ball and make it all go away. Okay? There are other people who are the opposite, who are fight or flight. And so start to take note of how fear shows up in your body. So the number one magic pill that I tell my clients, and some clients, they're like, how come it is taking you so fucking long to tell me this information? Because it's like seriously gold. You can't tell your amygdala that it's not getting chased by the saber-toothed tiger. You have to work physiologically, because your prefrontal cortex, your personality, your executive functioning, your like normal person personality, and your amygdala cannot work at the same time. So you have to work physiologically in order to move through this fear response. And so if you get the fight or flight mode and you get super hot and your heart starts to beat and and it feels a lot like anxiety or a panic attack, you need to get an ice pack, or you need to drink ice water with ice in it. Anything that is going to cool your body down. Because when you put the ice pack on you or you drink the ice water, your body is then sending a message to your amygdala saying, hey, chill. It's okay. You're no longer getting chased by the saber-toothed tiger. And so because the brain is going, oh, my whole body's starting to cool down, this must mean that I'm safe again. And once your body starts to cool down, it comes out of the amygdala back into your normal executive functioning, and then you could continue to go about your day. On the flip side, if you get parasympathetic shock, and the way to remember this is like paralysis. Like if you feel like you're paralyzed, you go into the freeze response. That's the parasympathetic. And you're cold. So it's the flip. You want to work physiologically. So you get anything that's warming, any herbal tea, and even hot water to drink. I have a heating blanket on my side of the bed that is literally on like from September to July. And so anything that is going to warm your body temperature up, because again, it is sending the message to your amygdala, you are no longer in survival mode. You are no longer getting chased by that tiger. And so it then allows your prefrontal cortex to come back into play. And so start to take note as to how it shows up in your body. I would love to hear from you guys. So if you're aware of this, just type it in, and then also test it out. And it might be a combination of the two, but generally you are one or the other. Like, you're going to get both, but there's going to be one default. And so that's what I have to say about that. Then last night, see, this is what I do when there's a whole bunch of shit going down in life. I start to read some crazy deep books. So I'm reading Man's Search for Meaning again for my third time. I read it in undergrad. I read it about a year after Jack died, and now I'm reading it again, or listening to it, I should say. And I can't remember. I should go back and have all this information for you, but I'm at the beginning of the book, and this guy is a Jewish psychiatrist, and he was put in 3 concentration camps, and he survived it. And out of this experience, he created this whole form of therapy called logotherapy, which is all about what's your meaning? What's your purpose? Why did you go through this experience? Exactly what I say to you guys all the time. Why is this happening for you? And so he was saying at the beginning of the book, and I will go back and I will find what the actual term is, but he was saying that when you start to go through an experience like what we're going through now, or getting put in a concentration camp in his experience, the shock, that intense, that's like the next level of fear, shock comes through in waves. And so this all is happening to us all at the same time, and it's total waves, and we all go into shock. We all go into that parasympathetic or sympathetic. And then what happens is that there is a false sense of safety that happens after this. And I will look up that term for you, and I'll put it in the comments. But this is a natural process where you're just like, okay, this is going on, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, maybe I don't need to socially isolate, or like, okay, I just got used to this, and this is okay. And then what happens is that another level of it comes. And so I'm bringing this to your attention because I want you to be aware that like your shock waves or your fear waves are going to ebb and flow. Okay. And so the more that you are aware of what your body is doing, and that you could actually take these steps, even if you just do the magic pill physiological things that I told you, it's going to be super, super helpful. So that's one book that I'm reading, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's he takes you through his experience in the Holocaust, and then all of the super, super cool clinical stuff. And the reason, again, I'm bringing it up is because one of the first things he asks his patients once he was back, out of the camps, he said that the first question he would ask people were, how come you haven't committed suicide yet? Rob was like, can you not ask your clients that? I'm like, well, I'm going to tell them the story. I'm not going to ask them this question. But it makes you think, what is your purpose? Why are you here? Why is coronavirus happening for us? What do you want to do in your life? How can you help the planet heal? How can you help your families heal? How can you help you heal? I mean, there is a reason that we are all quarantined, which, like I posted the other day, I'm going to start calling it retreat or refuge, because that is so much better than quarantine, because quarantine energy is all fear. So what if we take this time that we could actually be in retreat as much as we possibly can? I get that we have kids at home. I get that I'm trying to homeschool while I'm trying to do this too. But what if we start to shift our mindset and going, okay, how can I take this time to just be? So last night I couldn't sleep again, which is weird because I could sleep all the time. But I feel like this is the reason why I'm not sleeping, because I get up and I read this other book called Fear. And like I said, I don't know, some people I watch crap television, but I read all these deep books when this is happening. And so I can't think of the monk's name, but he's a Buddhist monk. And I will get the name for you if you want to read it. And it's all about using fear in order to transform it so that you could get a handle on it, and so that you could use it for good, essentially, and just be. And so I was reading it last night, and what he was saying is that we all have, and I loved this, it's part of my crazy notes over here because I was taking them in the dark, but we all have an island within us, every single one of us, that we could go and retreat to if we just close our eyes and get silent and meditate. And you don't even have to call it meditate. Just close your fucking eyes and go to your island. Go to your happy place. Go to your favorite place. Like it could be an island. It could be the beach. It could be a beautifully like green ferny forest. Like it could be the top of the mountains. Like wherever your favorite place is, this is my challenge to you. I want you to, after this, or at some point during your day, find 5 minutes and go there and close your eyes and feel the sun on your face. Look at all the beautiful colors of the ocean, if that's where you are, or all the colors of and textures of wherever you are. Listen to the sounds of the waves or the birds chirping or the breeze, or maybe it's the sound of silence, and use all of your senses to be there. Because when we allow our senses to, all of it, instead of just visualizing it, we actually really feel and experience it on another level, and we are fully present in there. It could even be an imaginary spot. Like, I got a whole place that I go. I hang out with Jack. It's awesome. Like, it's beautiful. It's colorful. It's great. So, like, just get creative with it and allow yourself to be there for like 5 minutes or 3 minutes, however, like, you know, or get a picture and put it up on a vision board so that you could really start to cultivate that. Because what happens is that fear stops the minute that you are there, because you're in your present moment. And so when you are in this space of, like, you know, of just non-doing, that's when you start. And this Power of Now, if you haven't read that book, that's another great book. I might just do a whole series on, like, my favorite books, but it's all about being as present as you can. Because when you are future tripping about, like, shit, what's this going to happen? Are my kids going to stay in school for this? Or, like, what's going to happen in the economy? What's going to happen? Am I going to die? Like, all the things, you start to future trip, you are no longer in the present moment. Or if you're the opposite and you start to go, you know, think about the past and how it was and how it's no longer like that and blah, 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 you're going to be constantly in the past and you're going to miss the present moment. And Eckhart Tolle and Buddhist philosophy both say that when you are in either place, you're missing the now. And when you're in the now, suffering ceases to exist. Right here, right now, me talking to you, you watching me, suffering ceases to exist because we were in the present moment. Do you guys get that? And then what I did after Jack is I had a mantra, like, right here, right now, I'm okay. And I'm giving you guys that mantra because it helps. Like, it totally helps. And so, when we are in this present moment and allow ourselves to meditate, this is what spiritual development is all about. Okay. So I preach doing a morning practice, journal and meditate, if nothing else, because the more that you could develop this inner island, as he calls it, the more you're going to anchor in that spiritual part of you. And when you anchor that part in, that spiritual part of you is the part of you that's going to care for you when you're in pain, when you're in suffering, when you're in fear or anger or even happiness. So, you know, it helps you just stop and look deeply within yourself. And so that's what I'm asking you guys to do. You know, see if you could stop and just be. I mean, I was talking to my girlfriend last night. We were Facetiming because, again, I live in a house of introverts and I need to talk. So this helps me a lot. But she was saying that she needs to, like, do, you know, and that she feels this pressure right now that she's got to go do something because we have been trained by our culture and our family and our history to just keep doing. And that no longer, oh no, it's cutting out every few words. Okay, I hope you guys are getting this. If not, I'll try and record it again and I'll see if it works. And if it doesn't, I'll just record it and I'll pop it back on. But right now it is really a time for being. As much as you can, just allow yourself to be, so that we can heal. And so that's all I got to say to you guys today. And I would love to hear how, hi Tracy. Yep. fight or flight. So if you're a fight or flight person, do the ice pack. It is awesome. Just put it anywhere intuitively, like the back of your head or on your chest or like on your wrists maybe. But the more that we could be present and allow ourselves to develop this inner island of peace, the stronger we're going to become, and that we could focus on that instead of the fear, we're going to be in good shape, and we're going to get through this. Okay. So, hopefully you guys heard all this and my internet isn't all wonky, but, I'm signing off now. And if it is, and it's super crummy, I might just, record it and pop it back up so you guys have this. Okay. Mwah. I love you guys, and hang in there. And I'd love to hear how you guys feel fear in your body. Okay, bye.